Welcome everyone. Let me quickly share my screen and we will get started here. Thank you for taking the time today to learn about essential oils, to take a step in your health and saying you and your family are a priority. Tonight we're going to talk about how to incorporate natural solutions into your everyday life to make it easy, affordable, and very practical. Right? Because we're not going to introduce anything that isn't easy, and we want to create that lifestyle, and you have to do it one step at a time. So tonight we're going to talk about essential oils, and we're going to talk about practical ways to use them, how to use them, and stay tuned to the end because we have some pretty incredible specials for you tonight. If you don't know me, my name is Julia Nicholson. I'm a holistic health coach by trade. I spent 7 years in the NFL and continue to teach on nutrition in the NFL, as well as lead Super Bowl tours for the military. And I just really love continuing to be a part of that family. My most important job is a mom of 2, and I am a diamond leader in doTERRA. My health journey really started, my husband and I were always pretty naturally minded, and it wasn't until I had my son that I really felt this overwhelming responsibility that I was responsible for how he turned out, right? Nothing prepares you to be a mom for the first time. And really my knowledge, you can only do as good with what you have, right? And knowledge is power. And so I really felt like at that point, I didn't want my lack of knowledge to be the reason why he didn't get the health I felt like he deserved. And so at that point, I went back to school and studied at a school out of New York City called the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. And there we studied over 100 different dietary theories. And it was really eye-opening because I only went to school just to learn for myself. But after I got out of school, at that point, I'd spent 5 years in the NFL, been exposed to some of the top trainers and nutritionists, yet I had so many things wrong, right? And I really felt that it was my calling to educate, particularly women, and empower them to take the health into their own hands, to talk to them about it doesn't have to look like one extreme or the other. Because on one side, you have crunchy granola, wears Birkenstocks, no makeup, and stereotypically on the other side, you have someone who is completely not natural that has to use Botox to stay and look young, right? And the truth is that there is a beautiful blend of both worlds. You can be healthy and you can look great naturally, and they don't have to be mutually exclusive. So really, that is my mission as my holistic health coach, and practice has continued to grow. And the clients I bring in are typically people who want to do that, blend the worlds of being healthy, being fit, and looking their best, feeling their best, so they can show up for their family in a big way. After that point, I went back to cheering for a couple more years. I just found that I love being around inspiring women, and I loved at that time taking on more of a mentor role to these girls. And so I continue to teach and train women how to audition for NFL teams and professional dance teams all across the nation, because I feel like it's really what I would do in everyday my health coaching practice as well. It's preparing you to be your ultimate best self. So while you may not be performing on a field, you are showing up in life, and you want to show up in life in a big way without hesitation, right? And you want to feel good not only now and look good now, but in 20 years from now, when your kids are older, or say 40 years from now, when maybe you're looking to have grandkids, you want to have that energy and vitality all throughout life. And there's some simple things that you can do now. So tonight we are going to talk about essential oils, because I feel like they have been instrumental with working with my clients and with my family, and they really give you the tools you need. I was fortunate enough to be mentored under Dr. Josh Axe, and he has been a phenomenal influence in my life. And his real philosophy is food is medicine. He has the #1 health and wellness website out there. So when people look for natural alternatives, sometimes they look because they're looking for the reactive side, right? Unfortunately, I get a lot of people that come to me with a certain diagnosis, or they're trying to change things because they had certain side effects or they're not feeling well, right? And then I have some people that are on the proactive side as well. So we really want to help equip you with what you need. There's a whole lot of stats on here, and you are definitely going to relate to one of these, because no matter where you are in your stage of life, you know people who have been affected by illness, by cancer, by dis-ease in the body, by anxiety and depression. One of the most alarming stats I find is here in the US, we make up 5% of the world's population, yet we consume 75% of the prescription drugs. And that is not okay. I think a lot of people know that our healthcare system is just not working, and something can be changed and different. And I love how the gifts of the earth really are meant to play into our health, right? Just think about how simple it is that what we breathe out, the air we breathe out, is the carbon dioxide, which is what our plants thrive off of, right? That's what they take in, and then they release back the oxygen, which is what we bring in. Our world is so interchanging, right? The plants are nutrition to our body, what gives our body energy, and yet our waste is their nutrition too. It is a continuous cycle, and I love that essential oils are something that for some people feel a little bit overwhelming, but all they are special gifts of the earth, and I'm going to teach you how to use them in an easy way today. Now, I love this wellness pyramid because every part of health is important. And this is not to overwhelm us, because it doesn't have to be perfect whatsoever. It's just important to realize that it's a holistic approach, right? So even if you're eating better, right? And even if maybe you're moving more, which can be just a simple walk or playing with your kids or gardening sometimes, right? Movement of the body is important, but even if you have those two down, if you're not resting and managing your stress levels, your health is going to be affected. And when you're looking at what you're putting into your body as far as food, then I get a lot of people take that next step of reducing toxic load, because they realize, if I'm so concerned with what I'm eating, why am I not concerned with what I'm putting on my body? Because as women, we put on 20 personal care products per day. Think about it. That's our deodorant, that's our makeup, that's our shampoo and conditioner, our lotion. Our bodies have to filter all that. Right now, we're experiencing extreme toxic load, and there's no way you're going to avoid it all. So don't worry. We have to breathe, so we're going to breathe in some toxins. But there's easy ways to reduce that toxic load so your body doesn't have to work as hard, so you don't carry as much inflammation, so you feel a lot better, and you're creating less dis-ease in the body. Okay, there's informed self-care and proactive medical care, which I love. And what's great about this is there's essential oils that can help you each step of the way. And the important thing to remember, it's not a magic pill. It's not going to help, cure everything, right? In fact, I keep this class FDA compliant, so I can't tell you it can treat, prevent, or cure anything. Rules by the lovely FDA. However, I equate essential oils to kind of tools in your home, right? So you have tools to fix things in your home, and your husband can probably hang things up. He can probably fix things around the house, maybe even prevent a few things from happening, right? But he's not doing major demolition work. He is not knocking down walls with those tools. That is what essential oils are. Essential oils are everyday tools that you can bring alongside whatever you're currently doing to help every day, right? And it can help things that come up. And it also can help prepare your body so that all the systems are working and flowing properly, right? It supports the body and how it works. So as we talk about essential oils, I find that it's a beautiful blend, because I'm not a one extreme or the other. I grew up in a medical family. My mom's a nurse. My dad's a microbiologist. I grew up with that mindset, right? On New Year's Eve, my son fell off a couch and busted his head open, and we had to take a trip to the ER because there wasn't an essential oil that was going to put his head back together. There are times and places for both worlds, and I find that it's easy to blend them together. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. The history of oils, I get this question a good bit because sometimes people are hearing about them for the first time, and now they're saying, well, it just seems like a popular trend. But in reality, it's been around since the beginning of time. As long as there were plants, there were essential oils on those plants. It actually dates back to the Egyptian days where they have cited them using them for medicinal purposes, religious purposes, cosmetics. Queen Cleopatra, used them as her beauty care regimen. King Tut's tomb was unearthed with essential oils in those apothecary jars. Hippocrates used them, the father of modern medicine. Everybody's familiar, most people are, with the Christ child being brought, frankincense, myrrh, and gold. Most people don't know that frankincense and myrrh are both essential oils. Oils were used throughout the war days, and when doTERRA came out on the market, their true purpose was to cultivate a relationship, to create the purest essential oils with farmers around the world where they can source indigenously and prove that a company can be transparent with the purity of their oils and impact the globe in a very, very big way, which I really like. So let's talk about what are essential oils. Essential oils are aromatic compounds found in a plant. So it can come from a tree, a citrus, a flower, roots, right? Vetiver comes from the root of that plant. So you can get essential oils from all different parts of the plant. But think of like rosemary. If you are a cook, you're going to be using rosemary when you're cooking. And if you run your hand along that rosemary and then you smell it, it smells like rosemary. Well, what has happened is you've popped those essential oil sacs right there on those leaves, and now you've gotten them on your hands, okay? So what you see on the screen on the left is a peppermint leaf, and on the right, it's under a microscope, and you see those little white sacs sitting right there on that plant, and those are the essential oil sacs. Now, essential oils, something very important to remember, are highly concentrated. A little goes a long way. So most times you're only going to be using 1 to 2 drops of oil at a time. Now, to give you a good example of this, peppermint, it takes 1 drop of peppermint to equal 28 cups of peppermint tea. So that's the difference between the herb and the oil. Again, highly concentrated. My mom tests all my recipes, and actually had her do a test of a detox water. And it calls for a lot of citrus, grapefruit, lemon, orange, and some mint. Well, she lives in Alabama. There's not a lot of places that carry herbs down in Alabama in the grocery stores. So she called me up and said, "Can I use my peppermint oil?" I said, "Absolutely." Well, I should have specified how many drops to use, because she called me back 2 days later and said, "You cannot give this recipe to anybody, Julia. It is horrible." And I said, "Why? It should taste fantastic, like citrus, with a little bit of mint, like a fruity lemonade." And she said, "It tastes like nothing but mint." I said, "How many drops did you use?" She said 16. And so in a pitcher, she should have only used 1 or 2 drops. So I could just picture her drinking it saying, "I know this is good for me. I know it tastes awful, but just get it down," right? So a little bit goes a long way as a good rule of thumb, and that's why oftentimes people use it for affordability purposes, because you, again, only need 2 drops, and it's really pennies to do it this way. And when you're looking at something that would be your alternative, so if you're a person who makes cleaners, an alternative would be buying a product already made where you can literally make it for $1 or maybe even $2 for a nice big bottle of cleaner with your essential oils. Or if you were looking for the alternative, anytime you purchase something at the drugstore, oftentimes it expires before you're able to even use it all. So let me talk about peppermint. Peppermint is great for the respiratory system. So just smelling it in straight from the bottle is going to open up those airways. I like to put 2 drops on my fingertips. I'll rub them together. I'll cup them around my nose and my mouth. Just means putting my hands together. And again, making like a cup around my nose and my mouth. If ever you read articles that calls for that, that's what that means. Deeply inhaling. Okay, it's going to open up my respiratory system. And then I rub it on the back of my neck. That is a great thing to do right before you exercise or anytime you need a boost in energy. It's going to wake you up by you inhaling that, open up your respiratory system, and by you rubbing it on the back of your neck, it's going to be really good for cooling down the body. So during those summer months, if you're going outside and it's really hot, or maybe you're in that stage of life, right, where you're experiencing a lot of changes around your 50s, just cooling your body down by putting that peppermint on the back of your neck. Also really effective for children at helping with those fevers. Diluting, of course, with some coconut oil, which we'll talk about in a little bit, applying to their feet and up their spine is great. It's also great for nausea, just smelling it from the bottle, seasickness, morning sickness, motion sickness. I've literally just had to smell it from the bottle when I'm driving down the road in case somebody's not driving as well as I would have liked, right? And I'm not feeling so good in the car. Maybe I ate something that just didn't really settle with me. Smelling it from the bottle is going to help that nausea. Or putting 2 drops and rubbing it on my stomach is going to be really good at soothing that stomach. And of course, head tension. If you're somebody that gets a lot of head tension and just starts pounding, think of applying peppermint to your temples and back of your neck. Careful not to get it in your eyes. Now, how are essential oils effective with the body? So we are shifting the way that we are naturally taught to think in our culture. So let me give you an example. If you have a headache, you don't know what's causing that headache. The headache is there because your body says, hey, something is wrong. I'm sending you this signal to tell you that something is not right and we need to adjust. And what do? Naturally, we say, hush, hush, I don't have time for you. And you make that go away. Okay, you're treating the symptom of what's going on. When you're using essential oils, you actually kind of have to redirect your thinking to the root cause. Because what essential oils do is they help the root cause of what's going on. Because if you fix the root cause, you no longer have the symptom, right? So the essential oil actually gives your body what it needs, and then your body is so smart to actually do the regulating itself. That's why oftentimes if your hormones are too high or too low, the same essential oil is called for and your body does the regulating. Okay, so to give you an example, if you're a person that needs examples, lavender, somebody said, I have a really hard time sleeping. Well, lavender is usually the go-to oil for that. 2 drops on the bottom of your feet, diffuse it beside your bed. If you don't have a diffuser, a drop on your pillow, right? For most people, they say, I got the best night of sleep I've gotten, right, in a long time. But for some people, it's like, it really didn't do anything for me, okay? And that's because the lavender wasn't addressing the root cause of what's going on. I know that the chemical constituents in this lavender are correct. So I know it's just not addressing your root cause. My son was the same way. When we got started with the oils, he was super young, right? And lavender was the first thing I tried, then Roman chamomile. Our pediatrician uses doTERRA essential oils, and I said, I've exhausted all my resources. Please tell me that there's something else that works, because he is not getting his sleep, which means I'm not getting his sleep, and everyone in this house needs sleep. I'm sure you can relate if you're a mom. So she said, try vetiver oil. It's very grounding. It comes from a root. And for that oil was his oil. So I would diffuse it, and I would actually blend up a little bottle with a couple different oils, a recipe I found online, put some fractionated coconut oil in there, and I would make a dropper. And so literally he couldn't talk yet, but yet he would hold up his feet every night once I had that vetiver mixture, and I would drop it on the bottom of his feet. The wonderful thing about it is a year later, they released the Peace Blend from doTERRA, and it is exactly the same oils I used in that blend with the exception of one oil. So that's what we continue to roll on his feet even to this day. Before we go to bed, I roll it on, we rub his feet and say what we're thankful for that day. It is wonderful. So you want to address the root cause of what's going on. For all my science people, Essential oils can penetrate the cell membranes. So when you look and have things that are a threat, that purple thing inside the cell is a threat inside the cell. So when you have a threat inside the cell, you're not feeling well, and you go to the doctor and they say, there's nothing I can do for you. Drink lots of water, vitamin C, and get lots of rest. It's going to have to run its course. Well, what they're telling you is they can't give you anything that will help that, because anything they give you, your body is so smart, and your body will not let that medication penetrate that cell membrane, okay? So the beautiful thing about essential oils is when you're learning about them is you know that they can penetrate the cell membrane. Also, they can penetrate the blood-brain barrier. So when you're looking to support mental focus, right, brain fog, anything like that, brain support, is going to be really helpful because it can penetrate that blood-brain barrier. Lavender is good for all things calming. So I'm sure you're familiar with having a nice bath, putting a couple drops of lavender in it. Really good for soothing the emotions. Also good for any skin irritations. So think like a mosquito bite, cover the hole, turn it upside down, and apply that lavender right to that bite. Any cuts or scrapes are going to be wonderful for using lavender on because it's antibacterial. It's also good for any burns. So applying it right there on top is going to be really soothing. It's also great, as we mentioned, for sleep. All right, let's talk about safety in oils because this is something that's very important. In general, you do not want to put the oils in your eyes, in your ears, or up your nose, okay? We want to make sure that we're putting it in the appropriate places. So when you're looking to help support something like fluid on the ear for most kiddos, we want to apply it around the ear and then pull it down the side of the neck to promote that fluid to drain off the ear. If you need more support, again, Melaleuca is your oil for this. Put a drop on a cotton ball and just rest it in the ear. The fumes alone are all you need, okay? No reason to put the essential oil directly into the ear. Same with the eye. If you're dealing with something on the eye, just around that eye is going to be very helpful, okay? Remember when you're dealing with kiddos, sometimes if they're super, super young, they don't know not to rub it and then rub their eyes. So be cautious of that. I always say with kiddos, a great place to apply are on the bottoms of their feet and up their spine, because you can put clothing right on top of that and they can't accidentally, as an infant, rub and then rub their eyes, right? Now we talk about oils. Not all oils are created equal, all right? Most of what's out there is synthetic. So think of your tea tree shampoo. Now, it may have tea tree or Melaleuca in it, but oftentimes it's synthetic, and there are chemicals that are actually cleansing your scalp. So get really good at knowing the ingredients of your products, because oftentimes the essential oil is just synthetic. There's food-grade essential oil, so think your York peppermint patties. Tastes like peppermint, smells like peppermint, no therapeutic properties. While the chocolate may be therapeutic to our emotions sometimes, the peppermint is not taming to the stomach. Therapeutic grade essential oils are, I feel like, the most confusing to people. It's like walking down a chip aisle at the grocery store. You see 100% natural on a bag of chips and a picture of a farm, and you turn it over and you realize there is nothing natural about this bag of chips. Well, that's because no one governs the word 100% natural in the food industry, just like no one governs the words 100% pure in the essential oil industry. You really have to know what you're getting. They can have synthetics or fillers in the oils and not have to label it. A good indication, looking at lavender, if you have a bottle of oil at home, if it says not for internal use, that should be a ding, ding, ding. There's something in there that they don't want you taking internally. So why in the world would you put it on your skin or even diffuse it, right? Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, CPTG, is what doTERRA claims that they say this is what the standards we always require and promise all of our oils to adhere to, okay? So this is something that doTERRA has specifically. And I get a lot of questions about organic. Do the oils need to be organic? Okay, so there's a couple things. Just like your food and organics, organic just doesn't mean that it's more nutritious. It just means that it's not sprayed with very much pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, and it's non-GMO. when you're talking about your essential oils, you do want to make sure that it meets those things, but you want it to go beyond organic standards. So you really need to know that it was indigenously sourced. That is a very, very big deal. When I take people on grocery store tours, we talk about that. That's why blueberries, wild blueberries, can have 3 times the antioxidants as conventional, just regular blueberries. It's because wild blueberries have the perfect environment. The soil's perfect, the environment's perfect, it's grown wild. You can't help it for it to grow there. That's what indigenous sourcing means. We go to where it naturally thrives, right? It's naturally found, and that's where we source our oils. So that is super important because you want the highest therapeutic grade oils there is. Not only that, you want it third-party tested. So you need to make sure that your company has a third-party testing person that has no ties to the company whatsoever. Most companies don't even do third-party testing. They don't often even do testing at all. So I like it that doTERRA does third-party testing to make sure, even though we know we didn't spray it with anything, there's no runoff water from neighboring farms that contaminated our crop. For some essential oils, like Melissa, when you harvest it, it has to be distilled within 2 hours or all of its therapeutic properties are gone. So all of our oils are tested afterwards to make sure that the chemical constituents in each oil is correct, because frankincense would look far different than lavender, right? When you're looking at its chemical composition. That's very important, because when you're looking, again, like we said about lavender, when you're looking to help support something, your primary recommendation for an oil is going to be listed. And you know that if lavender doesn't help with your sleep, it's not because the chemical composition is off. It's because that doesn't address the root cause of what's going on. And for doTERRA, you have on the bottom of your bottle, you have a lot number. You can type this in on the website and it will give you the testing for your bottle that you're holding in your hand. So I really like that. I like the transparency of a company. I mean, when I was looking, when my son was first born, I was reading things like tear-free shampoo. Tear-free shampoo, most companies, doesn't mean that it's more natural or organic. It often means that they have a numbing agent in the shampoo, and so it numbs the eyes so it does not feel the chemicals. Excuse me. Those kind of things are not okay with me. Okay, so you really need to know the company that you're purchasing from and their practices, because of the fact that it's super important when you're using these on your kids and on yourself. Now, frankincense. I can spend an entire hour class talking about frankincense alone. So please write that down in your notes to look and do some research yourself on frankincense. Frankincense oil is most widely known for its cellular support. So when we look at how healthy we are, we have to look at how healthy our cells are. So frankincense helps with cellular support, meaning all areas of the cell, but particularly looking at what's called apoptosis. We do not want our body replicating the wrong kinds of cells, and frankincense is very helpful in that. So what I like to do, easy way, is take lotion in the palm of my hand at night. I'll add 2 drops of frankincense right on top, and then I'll rub it all over my body. Make sure you get the breast area as well, because frankincense is exceptional for breast health. So it's also good for anti-aging. So I will do the same thing with my face care regimen. I'll do my facial lotion right in my hand, rub it together, rub it on my face. It's going to help with that anti-aging properties. Make sure you get your neck and your chest, because nobody has time for old lady neck and chest. But also, it's very good for your thyroid. So you're getting your thyroid when you do that. Okay, frankincense is also good for the mood. It's good for hormones. Really, when in doubt, frankincense, okay? It's great to take internally. I love to use that as a daily practice. I'll put 2 drops on my thumb, rub it on the roof of my mouth. It's also very good for mental clarity and focus, okay? And if you use that same example of rubbing on the roof of your mouth, frankincense is also good with helping reduce inflammation in the body. So if you're prone to sinus issues, guess what the roof of your mouth is connected to? The sinus cavity. So not only is it going to support every cell in your body, it's also going to really get that sinus cavity well. All right, how to use your oils. Aromatic use, most common way to use your oils. Okay, you've heard of aromatherapy. It's just this, for example, is a diffuser right here on the screen. Fill it with water, add 4 to 6 drops of essential oils, and it diffuses into the air. Beautiful use. You can smell it straight from the bottle. As I was talking about peppermint for nauseous, yep, exactly, aromatic use. Okay, it is the most effective way to help with emotions. Here at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee, one of the most world-renowned hospitals for research, actually implemented doTERRA essential oils in the nursing stations of the ER department to help reduce the stress and anxiety load of the nurses. It was so effective and well received that they actually have implemented it into several different departments of the hospital. In fact, I had a girl come to one of my classes not long ago and talk about how they use peppermint essential oil in the operating room. She works in high-risk dental, and most of the surgeries are of infection. Well, when you're working on an infection in the mouth that carries a particular stench or odor, sorry to be a little graphic, but the doctors and nurses cheer when the peppermint comes out because it helps them not feel nauseous while they're operating. So you know that that it's very, very, it's sterile enough for the OR. So, and they only use doTERRA essential oils. So, but aromatic use, going back to that nursing station, aromatic use, diffusing them is going to be the best way to help with emotional support. Breathe is a really good oil. So Breathe is a blend. So while we've talked about frankincense and lavender that are single oils, which come from one plant, Breathe is a blend of oils. So this is blended together, several different oils to help support the respiratory system. So think eucalyptus and peppermint, okay? Apply 2 drops to your fingertips, cup around your nose and your mouth. Breathe it in. It's going to help open up your airways. Take a hot, steamy shower. Put a couple drops on the bottom of your shower. Again, to smell it in and wake you up. Going to be great to diffuse beside your bed, because what's worse when you're congested is laying down to go to sleep and feeling like you have an elephant sitting on your face, right? So we want to make sure that you find the relief you need, and Breathe is wonderful to do that. Apply 2 drops to the bottom of your feet or even on your chest to help open up those airways. Great for people who are snorers, right? If your husband snores, apply 2 drops to the bottom of his feet before he goes to sleep, or maybe a drop on his chest. It's going to be a great use. Now, if you have people, if you yourself like to work out, one great thing that improves your performance, right? Because we're always looking for things to make our workout more effective. So we have to spend less time at the gym, right? Or less time exercising. The more oxygen you can get to your system while you're exercising, the more effective it's going to be. So Breathe and peppermint are going to be great ones to use while you're exercising. My husband's a runner, and he will rub it on his chest right before he goes out for a run. Also, new studies show that children with ADHD, if you increase their oxygen supply at night, it helps them be more mentally focused during the day. So diffusing Breathe is going to be an exceptional way at night to help open up their airways, get them more oxygen during that time of rest. Let's talk about topical use. When you use it topically, it sounds just like what you would do with it, right? Apply it topically. To the area of concern, it's going to be great. Upset stomach, apply right to the stomach. Head tension, temples, back of the neck, okay? When in doubt, and say you have, maybe some aches all over or something, bottom of the feet are great places to put the oils. Biggest pores on your body, all your nerve endings go there. It's a really, really good way to get and use the essential oils, and really easy. Other things to consider when you're using them topically is dilution. Okay, so a lot of people ask, should I dilute the oils? Now that just means you're mixing it with a carrier oil. Okay, so all those oils that I just applied to my hands when we were talking about them, you cannot see the oily residue, any oily residue on my hands. That's because essential oils are really light in molecule and they seep in really quickly. When you mix it with a carrier oils are thicker. So think coconut oil straight from your kitchen. Fractionated coconut oil, which means one molecule is removed, so it's always in its liquid state. Jojoba oil, avocado oil, all those are great, okay? So think just Deep Blue is great for joint or muscle discomfort. So anybody that has aches, right? Or my husband has a bad back, if he lifts something that he shouldn't have, okay? If I carry tension in my shoulders, Deep Blue is going to be great. But to go back for that example of my husband, if his entire back is achy and hurting, 2 drops of deep blue is not going to spread out over his entire back. He's 6'2", right? However, we know that you only need 2 drops. That's all you need. So what I would do is I would apply some coconut oil in the palm of my hand. I would put those 2 drops right there on top, mix it together with my finger, and now I can apply it up and down his back. Still 2 powerful drops, which is all it needs, but now it's able to be spread out over the entire area. Dilution is always good when using it on children and elderly, okay? Because it helps with sensitive skin because it's spreading the oils out over a larger surface area. All right, deep blue, like we went over, good for aches, pains, joints, discomfort. If you exercise a lot, it's going to be wonderful for that, for recovery, or put it on right before you work out as well. Deep tissue massages is great. If you're on your feet a lot, I have a lot of teachers that like it because they're on their feet a lot teaching and they want to rub that on, or your shoulders if you carry all the tension in your neck. Internal use. Now, internal use, I like to preface this with, first of all, you're going to use your oils mostly aromatically and topically. Secondly, when you use oils internally, I'm only talking about doTERRA essential oils because I know the purity of these oils and have seen the testing and documentation myself. So I only, when I'm talking about using internally, I'm only talking about doTERRA essential oils, okay? When you're looking at the oil bottles themselves, there's actually nutrition facts labels on the bottles that are meant to be taken internally. So wintergreen comes from a tree. It is not one that you would take internally. It actually has a little childproof cap on it, and it does not have a nutrition facts label. So that's an easy way to indicate which ones are for internal use. You can put 2 drops under your tongue. Okay, you can put 2 drops on your thumb, rub it on the roof of your mouth. That's internal. You can add it to your water. I've been drinking water as we have been teaching. I put 2 drops in this glass of water, and it's been nice to drink throughout the day. Okay, those are all internal use. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint are exceptional for seasonal threats. So if you feel like every time of year you come up with something like your eyes are itchy, you're congested, you have like seasonal things, lemon, lavender, and peppermint are a great code too. So you get your shot glass size of water, put a drop of each in there and take it like a shot. That is an internal use of the oils. So let's talk about lemon oil. And by the way, you can use them in a veggie capsule if you don't like the taste of any oils. That's another internal use. Lemon oil is great for all things cleansing. Anytime I run people through detoxes, lemon oil comes with their detox. It is incredibly effective at helping naturally detoxify the body and is gentle enough to do it on a daily basis. In class, I usually take a styrofoam cup and put a drop of lemon essential oils right there on top, and you can see it eats its way through that styrofoam. It's because styrofoam is nothing but petrochemicals. So what it's doing is it's breaking down that styrofoam, those petrochemicals. So in your body, it does much of the same thing. It helps bind to the toxins in your system and break them down so that they're easily eliminated. Because at the end of the day, your body's job is to survive. If you're inhaling or consuming too many toxins and it overloads your system, its natural instinct is going to be to protect itself. If it can't eliminate them fast enough, it wraps it in a lipid, which is a fat, and stores it. And that is not what we want. On average, people carry 5 to 10 extra pounds of inflammation. Okay? And lemon oil is going to be exceptional for helping naturally detoxify throughout the day. I have a lymphatic massage specialist here in town, and she says that a $10 bottle of lemon oil can put her out of business. So what she does, she can see you across the room, and just by where your collarbones are, she can tell if you're carrying too much lymphatic fluid. If she has a client coming in and she can tell, you're going to need a lot of work today, what she does is cover that hole, turn it upside down, apply it right there, right above that collarbone, that little divot right above, which is a huge lymphatic drainage site, and leaves them for 10 minutes to kind of help flush the system. The lymphatic system is like the trash can of the body, runs right underneath the skin. So we want to make sure it's working properly. That's a wonderful thing for you to do, right? Citrus oils do make you more sensitive to sunlight, so make sure that you are not putting it on and then going out and sitting at a ballpark, right? You want to make sure that you're covered up, or that you do it at night. That's a great example. And when you're drinking into your water, make sure you're using glass or stainless steel, because again, plastic, even if it's BPA free, it's nothing but chemicals, and we don't want it breaking down your water bottle over time. On Guard is one of my favorites during the winter season, but exceptional for me because I travel a lot and I interact with people a lot. And my kiddos, I have 2 kids, right? They are germ factories. On Guard is great for the immune system. It has oils like cinnamon, clove, wild orange, things that are high in antioxidants that are going to give your body what it needs for the immune system to work right and to help ward off germs. Our pediatrician's office diffuses this in his lobby in all the rooms of his clinic, and that is a great way for you to use it at home. If you have people coming over and you don't want their germs to stay with you, Diffuse On Guard is going to be a great thing to do. It smells like Christmas time, but you're also keeping those germs at bay. It's also good for sore throat remedies. So think a shot glass size of water, 1 drop of On Guard, 1 drop of lemon, gargle it 15 seconds and swallow it or spit it out. My mom was an extreme skeptic of the oils for a while. And so, of course, I came home eating better. They're like, we all need to eat better. Came home with the oils. Oh my gosh, Julia has lost her mind, right? Anytime you're in front of your mama, you can get them to try things. On Guard is one of the things I got her to try. I'm like, try this. You have a sore throat. Gave her that same recipe. She tried it. She's like, okay, I don't know how that worked, right? I'm sure that was a complete fluke. Okay, then I got a call in February. Again, she lives in Alabama, so it's a bit away. And everybody got oils that Christmas. So she called me. She's like, what's that sore throat remedy? I'm like, go get your oils because I'm sure they're still in their wrapper. And I told her again, and it only took one time for her sore throat to go away. She's like, man, there's something to these. And I'm like, yes, I know. I'm so glad you finally see. So sore throat remedy, do it every 30 minutes till your sore throat goes away. Takes 1 or 2 times. And obviously your body needs a boost. So do it 2 to 3 times a day for the next 3 days. On Guard is going to be really great for that. Exceptional for oral health. So using it as a mouth rinse, adding it to your toothpaste is going to be really good. Helps cleanse the mouth. If you do oil pulling, it's a great way to do that as well. Anytime you're feeling under the weather, On Guard is a great go-to. Or if you're into making your own cleaners, On Guard is going to be great for that. Now these are our last few oils. Digestin is going to be great for all things digestive. I know a lot of people have digestive upset, they have bloating, they have acid reflux, indigestion. Digestin is amazing. It has fennel, ginger, peppermint, all things that are really soothing to that digestive tract. This was a favorite for all the cheerleaders right before game days because the nerves are piled high, right? Nobody has time for any bloating. Like this is a fast-acting oil. So like Deep Blue and Digestin, you put them on and you notice an immediate relief. Whereas like frankincense, you're not going to put it on and say, oh, my cells feel healthier. But you look at the studies and you know, wow, it's incredibly powerful, right? But with Digestin, you notice immediately. So placing 2 drops on your stomach and rubbing it on is going to help soothe an upset stomach. Great for kiddos with upset stomach or nausea. Smelling it in. This is a great one to talk about. You may find more benefits topically or internally. So I tell people start topical. If that isn't helping you, then internal is a great way. Think a shot glass size of water, or you can do a full glass, whatever you prefer, and taking it like that. They do already have it in soft gel capsules, which is a great way, an easy way to use the oils. Melaleuca is also known as tea tree oil. Exceptional for the scalp. Any kind of critters that are going on in the hair or the scalp that goes around school, right? We all know what that is. Melaleuca is going to be great for that. It's very, very high and helps, it's an antifungal. So adding it to my pedicure water when I'm getting a pedicure is awesome because I don't want anything funky coming back on my feet. Anything that you need help cleaning that can't go in the washing machine, think hockey gear, dirty gym bags, mixing it with some vinegar and water and spraying those things down is going to be a great and effective way of cleaning. On Guard is not necessarily, On Guard is like the big guns when you're feeling under the weather, but it's not one that's really sexy to buy that you're like, oh, I can't wait to get my oregano this week. I'm sorry, did I say On Guard before? I'm talking about oregano. I can't wait to get my oregano this month, right? But when you're under the weather, you don't have 2 days for it to be shipped and mailed to you. So we want to make sure that you have this in your medicine cabinet because it's going to be extremely effective in helping you when you feel under the weather. Okay, it is a hot oil, so you need to mix it with a carrier oil or with water. I'm pretty hardcore when I'm under the weather. I take a shot glass size of water, a drop of oregano. It still tastes like a hot chili pepper, but I like for it to be very effective and work fast. I always touch on the Lifelong Vitality Pack. Vitamins actually are the reason why I came to doTERRA. Did not mention that before, but I created a program and I wanted good quality supplements to go along with my program because supplements, you guys, are so key. Even if you eat everything that you're supposed to, you chew your food 40 plus times every chew, you're still not getting the nutrients that you need because our soil is so depleted now. So supplementing is going to be extremely important. You need to make sure that they're whole foods vitamins, that they're coming from whole foods, not synthetic, not calcium derived from a rock, right? Whole foods. I love that essential oils are mixed in here with it. I also love that enzymes are woven throughout these supplements. You need to make sure that you're actually absorbing the vitamins that you get. If your urine is neon green after you have a vitamin, is not great, right? Omegas are extremely important too. So when we talk about the inflammation in our body, our omegas are very out of balance in our lives these days, right? So omegas are going to be extremely effective at helping with that inflammation of the body. You need it to make sure it comes from a good quality source when you're talking about fish oil. Okay, that's very, very important. And I love this. I get all my VIP clients on it. I tell them it has a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, send it back bottles empty, and they will give you a full refund. I've never had anybody do that. So I love, cannot say enough about this product, and I will help you have a personal protocol with the supplements if you feel like that's something you want to look at. I always touch on doTERRA as a company. I feel like no matter where we purchase, we're always voting with our dollars. So whether it's the grocery store, farmer's market, or you're buying clothing, you're technically saying with this dollars in your purchase, you're supporting the things that they do in the world. And doTERRA as a company is deeply rooted in their mission, which is to give hope and healing to the world. We source from 46 different countries. We cannot help that is where our oils are indigenously found. 26 of those are underdeveloped. So we are committed to pouring back into those communities by way of community centers, schools, and in the bottom right corner, this is a picture from Haiti. We source our vetiver oil from there, and they had to walk and get water every single day. doTERRA as a company drilled wells and actually piped in water to their village. So I love that, knowing that when I purchase oils for me and my family, I'm not only bettering my family, but I'm bettering those around the world. And I really like that because I want to know that our company is doing more good in the world. And you'll also have what's called the Healing Hands Foundation. So if you order in the future, you'll have a box to check if you want to donate $1 to the Healing Hands Foundation. And I always tell you that that's a nonprofit that runs right alongside doTERRA. It is wonderful because they're able to reach more people. So not just our farmers, communities, and those villages, but actually partner with huge people that are doing great things in the world, like human sex trafficking, especially for children, all right? And then Days for Girls that helps with reusable sanitation, feminine hygiene products for girls and women so they aren't mistreated in third world countries when they're on their cycle. All right, so today we've talked about what are essential oils, how you use them in your home, and I'm going to talk about how you actually get them in your home right now. doTERRA is like a wholesale company like Sam's or Costco. You pay $35 to get started with the oils, and then you can shop at wholesale prices anytime you want, which is 25% off. It also gets you access to things like our free product of the month or any free specials that we have, which is a lot of fun. And I'm going to go through a couple other specials at the end that is exclusive just for our group and team that we feel like is super important. If you're a TJ Maxx shopper and like to get the most for your money, you're going to want to look at the kits because it allows you to get more for your money because they've bundled together the most kind of important things you need to start off with, and they've discounted that price off of wholesale, and it does waive your $35 fee. One of my favorite kits is this Natural Solutions kit. It's what I started with, but I like to rename this and call it my Lifestyles kit. This is for somebody that wants to overhaul their lifestyle. So if you're looking to switch out your vitamins, to get a diffuser, to make over your medicine cabinet, and to switch out some of those like shampoo, conditioner, and cleaners, this is your lifestyle kit. I love this one. It actually comes with $100 in free oils, and I'm happy to talk to you about that afterwards too. The Home Essentials kit at the top is one of my favorites as well. I feel like this gives most homes everything they need to start off with. It comes with the 10 oils we talked about tonight and a free diffuser. And when you get started with oils, let me tell you, you're going to get tired of hauling your diffuser from your living room to your office to your bedroom or picking your favorite kit of the night. So you're going to want an extra diffuser on hand. So I love this Home Essentials kit because it has the frankincense oil, it has the digestin, the deep blue, the lemon, the lavender, all the things. And you guys, we just scratched the surface of what these oils are good for, okay? So this is a phenomenal kit. Now, I get the question a lot, what's the difference between the Home Essentials kit and the Family Essentials kit? The only difference is the Family Essentials kit does not come with a diffuser, and it comes with the miniature size bottles. So it comes with 5 ml bottles versus the Home Essentials kit has a 15 ml bottle. So the 15, the regular size, the 15 ml, that has about 250 drops in it. So it's going to last a really long time. Okay. Now, I talked about some specials. I do have some specials for you guys, and this is the most fun part of all. I feel like most people get started with the oils, and then they get their oils delivered to their house, and they're like, this is great. I'm so excited. But all I can remember is to put lemon in my water and frankincense all over my body for some reason. Julia told me to do that. And we want to hop back on the phone with you and go through the oils that you have. So you feel really confident in using your oils, and you're actually going to use what you get, right? And making it really specific to you. Because I guarantee you over this next week, your brain is going to be turning and you're going to be thinking, I wonder if there's an oil for that. I wonder if there's an oil for hair growth and making my hair thicker. I wonder if there's an oil for this wart that I can't get rid of on my son's finger. I wonder if this, and there is an oil. Okay. So we want to go back through what you have and make sure you feel really good and comfortable using it. We also have this 21-day e-course. Now, it's not overwhelming. It is literally an email each weekday for 21 days. You can file it away and tuck it in for later, or you can learn a little bit each day. 5-minute video or less. We are actually talking and teaching right in front of you, going back through these individual oils. We have a day for essential oils with pets. We have an emotions and essential oil day. We have essential oils for kids, right? My son even made his little debut in that video. So it is lots of good education, and this is valued at close to $200 if I were to sell this separately. So this is huge, okay? Not only that, you get access to our private essential oil Facebook group. Now, this is so important because you have access to doctors, to cancer coaches, to holistic health coaches, to yoga instructors, to moms of 5 who know the ins and outs of oils. It is a wonderful, beautiful community of people all looking to better their health and to help each other and support each other while we do it. Because let's be honest, sometimes it can be isolating to better your health when maybe your friends and family aren't necessarily always on board. So it's a great way. We actually have tons of giveaways for our customers. We love on you guys, and it's a great way just to support you. And 2 times a year, we also have a team-wide cleanse where we bring in experts. So you get tons of support and education, and we walk you through a cleanse that we do all together, and it's 30 days. So your 30-day reset is completely free. So you get all this when you get started with the oils. So please email me back. My email is Julia_Nicholson@mac.com, or contact the person that referred you to this video, and they will be happy to get you connected and set up with our group and get you our specials, okay? And make sure that you feel really good about using your oils and answer any questions that you have. And we are just happy to support you. Thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself. We so appreciate you and look forward to helping you with you and your family and to be empowered this next year.